I want to echo, I think, what can only be described as the shock. I think that we all feel there are moments in this job when you realize that you're witnessing some of the great horrors of history. This is a president who was just hospitalized for an intensely contagious disease. He is still highly contagious. Highly contagious. And the first thing we saw when Donald Trump returned to the White House, and this after he was at Walter Reed for 3 days, potentially with pneumonia related to COVID-19. He comes back to the White House, and the first thing that we saw him do after we saw the camera lights come on, because he's clearly shooting an advertisement, a video, a propaganda piece, whatever it is he's doing right now, the first thing he did was to take off his mask. He took off his mask. A highly infectious person standing there surrounded by many other people, presumably production people, potentially staff people. Who knows where the White House staff is tonight? Who knows where the innocent White House staff, the hundreds of people who have to work in that White House and who do so out of a sense of loyalty and tradition, who uphold the finest traditions of this country, now have to be exposed to whatever virus is being breathed out of the mouth of the President of the United States. I've never seen anything like this, honestly. This is the most irresponsible thing I've ever seen a president do. He's doing it for pure ego. He's doing it simply because he can. He's using Marine One as a prop. He's using the White House, our house, as a prop to literally spread COVID without a mask on, simply because he wanted to make a video. He wanted to make a video. He couldn't stay in Walter Reed, the finest hospital in this country, because he needed to get home immediately to create a commercial. I don't even know what else to say.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.